Hi everyone, today I'm going to inform you of how and when to use the zoom features while you are graphing equations in a TI-84 calculator. As we all know, the calculator has zoom features that allow us to view the graphs in different ways. There are 12 zoom features, however, in this episode we will focus only on 6 zoom features: zoom box, zoom in, zoom out, zoom standard, zoom fit, and zoom square. So let us begin with zoom box. Uh, we use zoom box when we want to view a portion of the graph by enclosing it in a box. So how do we use the zoom box? We use the zoom box by going to the zoom, then you click enter here, then you move the cursor a little bit. Let's say you want to enclose this area and zoom on that area, so you move a little bit here and press enter and then create a box. And then you click enter for the second time again. Then the calculator is going to show you only the portion that you have enclosed in the box. That's when generally people use zoom box. The second zoom feature I'm going to discuss today is zoom in. Zoom in is simple to use it. We just go to zoom. You go to the second one, press enter, then you move the cursor. Let's say you want to zoom in here, just to see if there are any x-intercepts, and you zoom in, and there you go. Then if you want to zoom in again, you can definitely zoom in and have a closer view of the portion of the graph you want to see. So then we have zoom out. Zoom out is the third zoom feature in a graphic calculator. It's very simple to use zoom out. You just go to the zoom list, you go down, click enter, and then you zoom out again. You can zoom out. So yeah, zoom out and zoom in are just like a zoom out or zoom in a lens camera. They show you these two zoom features show you things closer or less closer to you. So yeah, that's the main use of the zoom in and zoom out features. Then we have zoom standard. So we go to zoom. We have the zoom list here. Zoom standard is the sixth feature here. Zoom standard. You enter there, and you have this kind of graph. The same graph, just a different way of viewing it. And what is so unique about zoom standard? Things is you see here on the y-axis, the positive y units, the negative y units are equal. The y-axis is symmetrically divided by the x-axis. Same goes for the x-axis. The x-axis, the negative units of the x-axis, the positive units of the x-axis are equal, which means this axis The y-axis divides into equal parts the x-axis, and the x-axis divides the y-axis into equal parts. So yeah, in fact, if you go to the window range, you will notice that you have x minimum 10, x maximum 10, y minimum -10, y maximum 10. And yeah, that is what a zoom standard is useful for, to just view a graph in that way. So yeah, those are zoom features that are a little bit easier to use and easier to understand. So let's go back to here and let's graph a circle in uh, zoom standard. Let's grab a circle in zoom standard. You graph it, and here you go. You have a circle. This is a circle. I graphed a circle. But there is something strange about the circle, because it doesn't look like a circle. It looks like an ellipse. Just not the same as a circle. Is a little bit squeezed here, and it's not a perfect circle. Why? Because the units on the y-axis and the units on the x-axis are not the same. They are not of the same dimensions. And because they are not of the same dimensions, we have this kind of graph instead of having a perfect graph, perfect circle. So if we go to zoom square, which is the fifth one, and we press enter, we see that we have a perfect circle. Why? Because what does zoom square do is all the units on the y-axis and all the units on the all the units on the y-axis and all the units on the x-axis are of the same dimensions. Just zoom standard is the same as zoom standard, but it's more accurate. It has all the units of the x-axis and the y-axis of the same dimensions. That is what is useful for. And then the last one I want to talk about is zoom fit. When do we use zoom fit? A lot of people ask me this question tons of time, and it is really confusing when to use zoom fit unless you have graphed a strange equation like this. So currently we don't see anything here. This is currently zoom square. Let's try zoom standard. Even the standard view, we see nothing. What do we see? Nothing. Why do we see nothing? Because the graph is so big and complex that the calculator cannot graph it in a standard way. So what you do is, in this case, when you graph an equation and you don't find you can't see a portion of the graph, you go to the zoom, and you go to zoom fit, which is the 10th zoom feature in the calculator. You press enter, and it's going to show a portion of the graph. So yeah, that's how you use it. Shows you a portion of the graph, and you can clearly see a portion of the graph at least. Then from this viewing, you can use zoom in. If you want to zoom in, go zoom in, you zoom in, you zoom in again, Actually now it doesn't show us anything, but because I zoomed, but you can then zoom out if you want. Zoom out. It shows you the graph again. You can zoom out again. So yeah, you can play with zoom in and zoom out once you found a portion of that graph through the use of zoom fit. And you can even zoom back to see the y-intercept if you want to see, if you want to have a clear view of the y-intercept here. You can use zoom backs, and just as I told you before, you press enter here. You create a box. You enclose in a box a portion you want to see, and you enter, and there you go. There you have a graph, a portion of the graph that you enclose in the box. So yeah, uh, that that was all I have for today for this episode. Thanks for staying here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope you learned something from it. I will I will upload other episodes as well in my series, and I will show you other things about the calculator, other tricks about the calculator, and stay tuned for my upcoming episodes. Thank you.